What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Mr. HD, back. We gonna do this stream real quick so we can get ready for the watch along. But I gotta come and talk to y'all about, give y'all my quick thoughts on WrestleMania Night 1, which was absolutely amazing. I have nothing but good things to say about WrestleMania Night 1. Maybe a couple, not really complaints, but things that I think could have been done a little bit better, or things that we just could have done without. Um, Obviously, the main event was phenomenal. Now I want to call it a co-main event. Actually, let me start this stream off by saying this. I want to apologize, and this isn't in jest. This is a genuine apology. I want to apologize to Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, even though I still feel like I was right. You know what I mean? And other content creators were right that Charlotte hasn't done anything to deserve the main event of WrestleMania. Although I had stated before that Rhea had. Charlotte hadn't. She hadn't really done anything to make that title feel special other than her name being Charlotte Flair, and that's kind of losing a little bit of luster. But after last night, I think she might have gotten it back. I think one of the last night was one of those nights that Charlotte had the microscope on her because she's been doing the rounds, the interview rounds, talking to Ryan Satin and all these other podcasters. She's been everywhere talking about how she thinks she deserves the main event of WrestleMania and really campaigning for it. And, talking about, she actually said, the men, if they win the Royal Rumble, they're guaranteed which is, the main event. That's not true. That's not true. There's been plenty of men who won the Royal Rumble and haven't main evented. The WrestleMania. AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, two people that come to mind immediately. But there's she had the spotlight on her. Everybody wanted to see if she was gonna actually put on a performance that deserved a main event. Or if she was going to mail it in because she was frustrated that she didn't have the main event. Sean Ross Sapp said he already knew the lineup as far as who was going on last, but he didn't report it for whatever reasons. That's cool. That's on him. No sweat off my back. But it was just really interesting how things played out. I gotta apologize to Charlotte again, but like I said, we were right in our assessment that she hadn't done anything to deserve that main event, but the performance that they put on could have absolutely been the main event of WrestleMania. Uh, Outside of anything that had to do with the bloodline. If the bloodline thing didn't exist right now, Charlotte and Rhea they could have main evented night 2 with that performance. Honestly, got to give those ladies their props. But let's start from the top of the show. What's up, Gruss? I see you in here, my dude. Was cracking. We're gonna run through this real quick, then get ready for the watch along later with the guy. Well, I don't know if the guys are gonna show up. Everybody seems to be a little bit busy watching WrestleMania in other ways. So it might just be me with you guys again tonight, but that's okay. So the show started off. Kevin Hart introduced the show. He did like a little, Hollywood WrestleMania thing. The set was beautiful. Got to give a shout out to the set designers. It looked like a Hollywood red carpet situation. Looked like something you would see at the Oscars, even though the Oscars suck. It was very elegant what they did. It was apropos for LA WrestleMania. And we got the first entrance of the night, which is always important. First wrestler to come out for a match, and at WrestleMania is a big deal. They always say you want to be, if you're not the main event, you want to be the first match, and that spot went to Austin Theory. Came out looking like a superstar, looking like $1 million. You know what I mean? Good tan, ready to go. Then John Cena came out looking like a old Hollywood actor. It was dope though, because John Cena came out with the little Make-A-Wish kids. That was dope. John Cena's so adorable. You know what I mean? Then you watch Peacemaker and you see how ratchet he actually can be. It's like, oh my God, it's so, please don't let those kids watch Peacemaker. It's going to traumatize them. And John Cena dancing around in his tidy whities, just exploding aliens and all kind of crazy stuff, cursing every 5 seconds. He definitely showed his action chops in that show. But Cena versus Austin Theory was a match. Definitely, I don't want to say the worst because worst makes it sound like it was bad. It was standard. It was pretty much what we thought. I have one issue. This is the main issue I have with the entire show, honestly. Obviously, we all picked Austin Theory to win. Me, Physics, and Two Face all picked Austin Theory to win. But I didn't want him to win like this because I don't think the W actually did what it should have done for Austin Theory because he won. There was a ref bump. Cena picked him up to do the AA. Then Cena stumbled and Theory kicked the ref. Ref bump. Ref goes down. Then Austin Theory, takes advantage. Low blows Cena when the ref can't hit it. Hits the A town down and wins the match. Cena did his 5 moves of doom. There was really nothing to this match. There was no like crazy table spot. There was no crazy moves. There was nothing. You know what I mean? It was standard match. Something we could have saw on Monday Night Raw, but it's John Cena, so it makes sense that it's at WrestleMania. Good start to the show. The right guy won. I just don't think that he won in the right way. I think that we could have done a little bit more with Austin Theory. Let him win clean over John Cena. Let Cena do the job clean. At the end of the day, Cena could always come back and be like, "Yeah, you had to punch me in the balls to win the match, so you're still, ass." At the end of the day, nobody still believes in you. So, you know, it is what it is. And Cena did an interview, or Theory did an interview later, like, "Do you believe in me now, John?" And I was just like, you low blowed him and got the win. Like it's not no, no, I don't. But I gave that match 3 blunts. I didn't want to be too hard on it because, like I said, we get to see John Cena, which is always awesome. Him and his ever-present ball spot. You know what I mean? But I am not one to talk. There's a reason that I shaved my head. So. So I'm not gonna talk about that man's bald spot. We are bald brothers. After that, what was the next match was the men's fatal 4-way showcase tag team showcase match, which actually only went 9-10 minutes, but was actually pretty damn awesome. You know what I mean? Everybody got their spots. Eric and Ivar did their thing. Ivar was going crazy with all the dives and flips and spin kicks. You're showing the big guy. All the big guys were getting it in. We saw Otis doing his thing, Chad Gable doing a fucking Chaos Theory suplex where he rolls through and does the suplex. On Braun Strowman was the highlight of the match for sure. They did a Tower of Doom spot that actually looked pretty cool. Still don't like the spot. I always complain about the Tower of Doom spot because it just is too contrived. But this one was kind of cool because Montez Ford was at the top of the pyramid and they kind of picked him up and held him there. So it was a stalling Tower of Doom spot. Then Ricochet ran for dear life up to the top rope and then just cross-bodied Montez. And it was so scary because Montez was like upside down and it looked like he could have possibly got tombstone from 10 feet in the air. And that would have been horrifying and a quick end, well, maybe to his life, but definitely to one of the most promising WWE careers out there. So I'm glad that he's okay. I'm glad that spot went off well. But the match was good. The Street Profits won, which was a super surprise. They actually did a inverse of the finish that they did on Friday night where Montez hit the frog splash, but Ricochet stole the pin. This time, Ricochet hit the beautiful swanton. Yes, I think I forget what he does. A lot of top rope moves, but he hit a beautiful move off the top rope, and then Montez came in with the frog splash and stole the pin. So great match, man. Great showcase for the men's tag team division. I think they got to keep Ricochet and Strowman together unless they're going to give Ricochet like a title run, which I wouldn't be mad at. Like, I think Sammy and KO are probably going to hold on. Well, they got to split up the titles at this point. There's 2 different brands. You can't have 3 of the titles or 4 of the titles on 2 groups. Like, just split. Just give the shows the champions back. Like, I don't care if they just come out on Raw and be like, all right, so the tyrannical reign of the bloodline is over. We're gonna split these titles up, and there's no further explanation in that. I'm fine with it. Let's just do it so we can have champions on all the shows and get this shit together. Because this undisputed championship. Like if it was just Roman, it maybe, or if it was just the tag team championships, maybe. But no, it's beginning to be a hinder. It's been a hindrance, honestly, on some storylines and other wrestlers, but it's definitely been a hindrance as of late, and will be going forward if they don't fix it. But good match by all the tag teams in the men's division. We'll get to see the ladies later tonight. After that, hold on, did I? Oh, I didn't click. I did click off of it. But anyways, I think. Oh yeah, Seth and Logan Paul were next. Now, okay, we got one of the best entrances of WrestleMania. Well, two of the best entrances of WrestleMania Night One, because Logan Paul came down on the zip line. Always scary. Um, you know, I don't even want to bring up all we're speaking happy thoughts right now, but yeah, just when you see somebody suspended in the air last night, or suspended in air like that, it's always a little scary. But he came down confident on the zip line. It was cool as hell. Logan Paul looks like a star. He carries himself like a star, and when he gets in between those ropes, ladies and gentlemen, um, he's one of the most believable superstars in WWE, in all of pro wrestling right now. Like he's a legit boxer, he's a legit fighter. Um, his punches, look great. You know what I mean? He throws them like the Undertaker, where he comes all the way back and really puts, emphasis in it. He's not doing a crazy stomp, so it looks all, he's stomped, but his move set looks believable. He's super athletic. There was a point where he did some move, then he went right into a shooting star press, standing shooting star press. Like the dude is just, he's phenomenal inside the ropes, man. He has the agility of like a Ricochet or somebody like that. Maybe not to that level, but pretty damn close. He has the charisma and of a Seth Rollins. He has the audacity of a Roman Reigns. Like the dude's got it all, man. He's got the look. Looks like Austin Theory. Like the dude's got it all. He's like 6'5". It looks like he stands tall in the ring. Uh, I have nothing but good things to say about Logan Paul when it comes to pro wrestling. Outside of pro wrestling, I have multiple opinions about different things that he's done, but he's a hustler, so I ain't gonna hate on him. So yeah, these two squared off. Seth came out in a gown, another gown, and he came. It was like the Jeff Jarrett, Shawn Michaels. Jeff Jarrett and Shawn Michaels have worn these outfits, so Seth just had to make his pink and also wear a flowery robe that was looked like some Charlotte Flair was. His robe was doper than Charlotte Flair's. You know what I mean? Charlotte Flair should have been wearing that shit, not Seth Rollins. But he's the fashionista. It's not something I would design as a fashion designer myself, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? He had an orchestra conductor come out and do the O. It probably went one too many before they dropped his beat, because he did it like 3 times. But I watched all the matches back, all the main matches. I ain't watched the Cena and the men's tag match back, but I watched the other 5 matches back, and like the shit was fire, man. These two, they got they got into it early. There was some good reversals, some good kickouts on twos. Seth was, power bombing the shit out of Logan Paul. Logan Paul was getting a lot of offense in. He wasn't just getting beat down. There was a point where he was getting all the offense in, and Seth had to battle from underneath. The craziest spot of that match, one of the best spots and one of the highlights of the night, obviously, was KSI came, or not, well, damn, I just spoiled it early, but Logan Paul came down with a giant mascot prime bottle. Great advertisement, great product placement. Um, Honestly, if he did this match just and there was like no money exchange, it was like, you let me do this and I'll do the match for free, it would have probably been an even exchange. You know what I mean? Honestly, because that's some crazy product placement right there. You have a mascot come out with you to the ring, dressed as a prime bottle, ingredient label and everything on the back. It was dope. I if you watched last night, which Grush, you were watching last night, I literally called this shit as it was happening. Like it was crazy because I didn't know. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not an insider. But there was a spot where Seth Rollins was set up on the table. Logan Paul was beating him up outside, and he set Seth Rollins up on the table and went to the top rope, start celebrating, taunting the crowd, all that stuff. And the guy in the mascot uniform was revealed to be KSI, and KSI bust out the phone. If you don't know what KSI is, he's a longtime YouTuber. I know who KSI is. He's been around for it feels like 10, 15 years at this point. But he's done doing the boxing thing. I think he was doing it before Logan. Him and Logan had like one of the first YouTuber matches, if not the first YouTuber match. But he showed up. Now they're business partners in Prime, so he's out there in the mascot. He's doing photos and selfies and Instagrams and all that stuff. Trying to go viral, as they said about 75 times on commentary. Just wants to go viral. Viral. He wants to go viral. That's all he thinks about, scoring viral. Viral. He wants to go. It's like, all right, we get it, guys. We get it. We we get it. But as Logan Paul is up on, and they did this perfectly. They executed this so flawlessly. Logan Paul's timing with everything in pro wrestling is literally immaculate. Like, the man was up on the top rope, and Seth is not like reaching. You know what I mean? He's feeling for KSI. Like, where is he at? Where is he at? But he's not like giving away what he's about to do. And KSI is sitting there still with the camera, just trying to get the shot of everything or whatever, and taunting Seth and talking shit. And Logan Paul is the best because he's like not. He looks away, so he doesn't see Seth actually pull KSI onto the table in his spot, because he does the whole Triple H spitting the prime out, which isn't good product placement. Was it nasty? He's doing the Triple H thing, so he spit it up in the air, and as he has his head up, that's when Seth moves and pulls KSI on the table. And Logan doesn't like look down and see it. He like spits it up, and soon as he like does it, he just immediately jumps. So it's like, oh, of course he didn't notice him pull him on the table. He wasn't paying attention. He was so confident. He just jumped. The timing of everything was flawless. I gotta give Logan Paul his props, man. Like, you don't get wrestlers like that's, like AJ Styles and Adam Cole and Ricochet. Like, the timing, and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Like, there's certain people with flawless timing to where they can execute things like that. I think Seth might have did somebody super kicked somebody as they were doing a springboard off the ropes last night. I think it might have been Seth to Logan. I can't. It was so much going on. It might have been in the men's tag match, but it was a great match between these two. The right guy won after Seth. After Logan splashed his boy on the announce table. Shout out to KSI for that being his first bump in a wrestling ring. Like, I would be terrified to do it. Obviously, he's a better athlete than me, but yeah, that's a rough bump. You got to be on the right spot. Make sure you don't break your neck or your back, or there's so many things that can go wrong there. But they did it, and everybody seems to be okay. But Seth did hit Logan with the stomp when he rolled him back in the ring, and got the 1, 2, 3, man. So Logan takes another L. He talked about later how his contract is up. You know what I mean? He said Triple H texted him, told him how fucking awesome that was. My kid's not here, so I can cuss. But yeah, so he was happy with the performance. He said he doesn't have a contract now. His contract's up. I'm not buying that. That might be part of a storyline with Triple H trying to get him back to come back and wrestle, and Triple H being like, "But you lost every match," and then Logan be like, "Maybe I'll come back and get a win." He got to get a win. Did he beat the Miz? Was there a one-on-one between him and the Miz? I know they tagged together, but then he wrestled the Miz, right? Did he win? Somebody help me out. I'm not sure if Logan Paul actually won that match, but he might have. Uh, but yeah, so that match was great. Um, then after that, where's my? I don't know where my paper is, but we'll talk about Dom and Ray. The best entrance of the night so far, WrestleMania so far. I don't think it's gonna be pretty hard to top what Dom Mysterio did for his entrance. They played the video package of the storyline or whatever. We all know the story if we're watching. And then there was like a whole cinematic uh, movie thing put together of Dom being in jail and being locked up, and you saw the prisoners, and this time they're yo Dom, go get him. Dom is just there in the background, like he's a hardened criminal and shit, like he was in there for 3.5 hours. You know what I mean? But motherfuckers know his name and shit. He's a hardened criminal. He went back to jail to film this, even though he was only in there. I was like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? But um, it was entertaining, man. This match was crazy. Rey Mysterio's entrance, probably the second best entrance of the night. Uh, he came out first. He came out with Snoop Dogg in the Low Rider, which was dope. Came out to nothing but a G thing. Then they played Eddie Guerrero's "La Cheating Still" once they got into the arena. Then once he hit the ramp, they played the Booyaka Booyaka 619 and hit Ray's theme music. So we got three different songs for his intro. They did mistime one of the pyros, the right side of the pyro when he was doing his entrance, but that's okay. Nobody cares. So that was fun, man. These two went at it. Obviously, mom and sister were out there at ringside once again. You knew they would play into the story. Um, Dom and Ray were basically going back and forth. There was a lot of back and forth. I just want to get obviously their father and son. Ray trained his son. It's obviously they're gonna have chemistry, but it was on full display last night because even how they were running the ropes, there was one spot where I can't even describe what they were doing, but they were running the ropes and they were stopping in the middle, and then Ray, like instead of bouncing off the ropes, Dom stopped and Ray pulled him and then whipped him into the ropes again, and it just looked so clean and so smooth. When they were doing their spots, obviously father and son are gonna have immaculate chemistry inside the ring, but yeah, they were battling back and forth. Dom was using his size to overpower his dad and bully his dad a lot. He got some once he got upper hand, he start talking shit to his sister and his mom again. Told his mom to shut up again and got slapped in the face. Then he grabbed his sister's cup of water and threw that in her face. It was all a mess. When Ray came over and to check on him or whatever, he check on the girls. Dom blasted him and got the upper hand again. It looked like Dom was gonna get the dub because the Judgment Day showed up, minus Rhea Ripley. You had Damian Priest and Finn Balor, who we'll see tonight, come out and run interference. It looked like Ray had the win. He hit the 619, but Finn Balor jumped up on the ring apron and distracted the ref. That's when Damian Priest got involved and helped Dom get the upper hand again. It looked like Ray had it, or it looked like Dom had it because of the Judgment Day. But then we got the new faction. Hopefully, they keep this together and it's not just a ploy to sell some T-shirts on WrestleMania weekend. The LWO, Legado del Fantasma or El Fantasma, I'll be forgetting. But they came out and helped Rey Mysterio. They ran off the Judgment Day. Rey Mysterio got the upper hand, hit his 619 and his frog splash, and got the dub. Daughter and mom come in the ring. They hug and kiss, and it's a big family moment without Dom. He's still the outcast of the family. But this was a great match. It's really hard to like. This could have been match of the night on some other WrestleManias. It's that's how good this show was. Like I can't even. A perfect WrestleMania, a near perfect WrestleMania is what I put on the thumbnail because I honestly believe that this show was almost flawless. There was way too many ads. I put that in my post last night on Instagram. It was too many ads, but I get it. It's a TV show. It's already on Peacock. It's not like they are running commercials as well, but it's one big advertisement. You do an event that big, that's what's going to be. I'm in 2023. I'm not going to bitch and moan about being too many ads. I mean, I get it. But shoot, hopefully I can buy some of that ad space one day. But, yeah, the show was great. That match was great. We had Damage Control and Bailey, Io Sky, Io Shirai is what her name should be, and Dakota Musty Kai. Let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Premium Peacock didn't have all those ads. I have premium, I think. maybe I don't have premium. I don't know. I got to check. I don't know. I usually buy the cheapest version of apps like that. So I probably maybe I don't. I don't even know if I knew there was two different versions, honestly. But yeah, Damage Control went up against Lita, Trish Stratus, Becky Lynch. This match wasn't offensive. Actually, during the watch along, I was kind of impressed. I remember saying that some of the spots were cool, even though when Lita gets in there, she's still slow. Still has to set up her moves a little bit. It's like an extra little 2, 3, 4 second delay when she's trying to set up moves and do them right. But at least she executed all the moves right last night, and there wasn't any botches or anything like that. The match was not offensive at all. The baby faces won, which was good. I picked the baby faces. I was the only one to pick the baby faces, which got me in a tie going into night two. But um, yeah, there's nothing really to talk about. This match, there was nothing. It was really nothing, honestly. Moving on from that, we had man. I don't even know what to say about this match. I spoke about it in the beginning of the show. A lot of you guys weren't here, but Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Once again, I must apologize. Even though I was correct in my sentiment that Charlotte hasn't done anything to deserve a main event, and she was super annoying in the lead up to WrestleMania, just talking about how she deserved the title and no men, if the men win the Royal Rumble, they're guaranteed a spot, which is obviously not true. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, like it's so many other people who won the Royal Rumble and didn't get the last match at WrestleMania. So that's cap, trying to make it a men versus women thing. It's like that's how women. It's like you don't have to put down men or compare yourself to men what the men are doing in order to get those spots. Like it just doesn't seem necessary, but we see that in a lot of arenas in life at this point. But Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley went out there and put on a main event match. Uh, that match could have main evented any night of WrestleMania that didn't involve the bloodline. It was very, very close, and it's debatable. I'm still torn. Like on my initial blunt ratings, I gave them both the same score because I literally couldn't decide which match I like better, and I'm still having a hard time, honestly. But I'll give the blunt ratings for each match in a second. Um, but this match was phenomenal. These ladies beat the dog shit out of each other. And I thought Charlotte was trying to commit suicide at one point. I don't know if I could say that on YouTube. She was trying to delete herself because she was over rotating on every suplex. It was just like she was trying to hurt herself. There was one suplex off the top rope. Now you're on the top rope, second rope, whatever it was. Rhea Ripley suplexed her. She over rotated, so and landed on her face, landed on her, her front. So it was like, ouch, that looked painful as hell. Why didn't she just, But it's safer than taking that bump is safer than possibly landing on the back of your head and neck, and So that's cool. It's off the top rope, but, 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 the second time. They were not on the top rope. And Ripley suplexed her just off the ground. It's literally on the ground. She suplexed her. And for some reason, Charlotte Flair, 9 foot tall, tried to over rotate like she was Ricochet. I was like, what is she doing? What is she doing? And she literally did a full 360 spin and landed right on her mug. Like, nose, like this part of her face hit the mat first. And she is so lucky that she got long ass legs, a long ass torso, because her knees hit immediately after, which saved her from breaking her damn neck. Like, oh my God, Charlotte Flair, what were you thinking? Like that, I don't know if I needed to see that, honestly. I don't know if I need to see that. Her doing the over rotation, but it definitely added to the match. It was like real light. This is awesome chance they didn't pick up. You know what I mean? Nobody was trying. It was like people were just trying to get to the main event, But they definitely got into this match because these ladies were battering each other. There was a standoff at the end where Charlotte's like, "You want my spot? You want my spot?" And she's like, "Come on!" They just battering the crap out of each other, battering the crap out of each other. Rhea got that inverted standing clover leaf lock in on Charlotte at one point. Charlotte got to the ropes. Charlotte got the figure eight. She almost got it on to Rhea, but Rhea got to the ropes. Uh, there was two near ref bumps that distracted both ladies. Each one almost ran into the ref, but didn't. But when they were stopping to make sure they didn't run into the ref, the other person attacked. When it happened with Rhea, that's when Charlotte got the upper hand. Charlotte did a beautiful moonsault during the match, actually connected fully. Looked like she elbowed Rhea right in the face when she landed. So, I'm indifferent about Charlotte's moonsault. Half the time she doesn't touch anybody. She like just grazes the girl's chest with her hand or something. But this time she actually connected. So great moonsault by Charlotte. The finish was phenomenal. They went up to the top rope. It was executed perfectly. Like a lot of these finishes, all these finishes were just executed so flawlessly, except for the first one. We talked about that, but they went to the top rope. Charlotte's trying to go up there to do I guess a superplex or something like that. Rhea gets loose and she smashes Charlotte face onto the pole, the ring post. And Charlotte looks like she's knocked out and she's just laid up on the top rope. And that's when Rhea says, it's done. It's my time. And she climbs up there and climbs over Charlotte and picks her up for the hell is the name of her finishing move. I hate it unless it's done like this because this was amazing. But she hit her with the, whatever that power bomb is called. I forget the fucking name. I don't know. I'm just forgetting the name of her move like that. That's messed up. But yeah, she hit it from the top rope. Super impact. Like Charlotte landed on the back of her neck. It looked gross. Then Rhea did her sexy pin and got the 1, 2, 3, and her reaction was priceless. The joy looked like she was crying black tears because of all her messy makeup. But even her screaming into the camera when she holding up the championship, it was all perfectly well done. What I didn't like though was Charlotte Flair sitting on top of the ring just trying to soak up some of the attention. Ain't nobody else do that. Get the fuck out of here. Logan Paul did it though, but come on, I mean that makes sense. Logan Paul and Charlotte Flair doing some shit like that because they both just hung out after the loss. Like, hey, look at me too. Don't forget about me, man. This ain't your moment, man. Get out of here. Charlotte just sitting outside the ring smiling, like, bitch, you just got dropped on your neck. You almost killed yourself twice. Like, go sell the shit somewhere, please. Like, Charlotte just hates selling for anybody at any time. It's so frustrating, man. That's why she gets so annoying. Like, please just sell that you just went through a brutal fight. Like, sell it. You look like you battered. She had lipstick on her teeth the whole match. So she looked like she was missing a tooth or she had chipped teeth. She looked a mess last night. I ain't gonna lie. Charlotte be looking good sometimes. You know what I mean? When she comes out in the right outfit, like when she had that lime green thing on, she was looking good. You know what I mean? Still not my speed, but it's Andrade's speed, as long as he likes it. But last night she looked like an old lady. I don't know what it was. No disrespect, but she looked like an old lady in the face. But this match was absolutely incredible. The from start to finish, these ladies like beat the dog crap out of each other. Charlotte Flair tried to beat herself up like most of the match, doing all those over rotations on suplexes. But it definitely could have been match of the night. I was a little bit nervous for the main event. Honestly, once I saw this, I was like, it's a little spicy. What are Usos and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens gonna do to top this? But holy shit. Did they ever? I don't know if they topped it, but I would assume most people probably believe that they did. But we did have a cool down match. Miz was out there with Snoop Dogg, and they announced the attendance. And Snoop was like, "Hey, it's better to be better than those WrestleMania attendance numbers. You having a match tonight?" And Miz was like, I sent out a tweet and a text, and nobody responded. So I was like, if that was the case, you would have just fought Bobby Lashley or L.A. Knight. Neither one of them, you would have got a match. That didn't happen. But He was like, everybody's scared of me. Nobody wanted, everybody knows I'm the toughest guy in the locker room. But then that's when we got Pat McAfee coming out with his fire ass theme song. That's definitely on the levels of a Sami Zayn and a Seth Rollins, in my opinion, when it comes to theme songs you could chant to. Uh, and he came out and talked a bunch of shit to the Miz, talked him into having a match, a one-on-one match. Miz, didn't want to do it, but he got talked into it by Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg made it official because apparently he's Vince McMahon in a costume. But yeah, that's that. The match happened. Pat McAfee did some things. Uh, yeah, it was 3 minute match, maybe 3 minutes. And Pat McAfee beat The Miz. So The Miz in his 16th year in WWE is losing to a commentator. So yeah, at least he's rich and has a hot wife. So there's that. But after the piss break match, which basically is what this was, we had the main event of the night, and whew, man. First of all, we had Lil Uzi Vert come out and do I don't know the name of the song because I don't go out of my way to listen to Lil Uzi Vert. I only know that song because when you play Drake Spotify radio, it'll come on. And I honestly I didn't know that song was made by Lil Uzi Vert until last night. So it's like, oh, this is him. He sucks as a rapper, but hey, I like that song. At least I like it. The intro, I just think it's funny. Damn. Oh, it's entertaining. But yeah, this main event, man, Usos came out in all white. Uzi was part of their entrance. Uh, they came out in all white and red, looking fire. Did their whole thing. Then we got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens coming out in all black. They had Pro Wrestling Gorilla logo on they tights too. I'm pretty sure. I didn't. I'm pretty sure I saw that. You know what I mean? But um, yeah, they had their WrestleZania shirts on, and KO Mania. KO should have had the KO Mania on the front, and Sammy should have had the Sammy Zania on the front. That's what they should have done. Instead, they looked like they were both wearing Sammy Zayn t-shirts, but whatever. No big deal there. This match was fire, yo. Started off, the match didn't start off slow. The crowd was kind of burnt out. I think they were still trying to recover from the Rhea and Charlotte match, and then they were trying to understand what just happened with the Pat McAfee and the Miz, and like why did they have to watch that? Even though the crowd was into Pat McAfee and they chanted tiny balls when he was taunting the Miz, and people are into Pat McAfee. Everybody loves Pat. Nobody doesn't love Pat McAfee. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's great at pretty much everything he does. You know what I mean? He's kind of got that Logan Paul thing, but he's actually a nice person. So everybody loves Pat, so it wasn't that bad. But people were still trying to pick it up at the beginning, and then these guys just start going at it, just loads of super kicks. And people got into it because Sami Zayn went in first with Jay, which made sense. That's the biggest part of the entire bloodline versus everybody else feud is Sammy versus Jay. That's the core of it. So these two start the match, and yeah, the Usos got the upper hand and they beat the dog shit out of Sammy for probably the first 5, 6 minutes of the match. He just was getting beat the fuck down. Yeah, I mean, they just doing those splashes in the corner and super kicks and just beating his ass and KO. He wants to get the tag, but he can't get the tag. For some reason, they kept saying on commentary, they said it multiple times because when I watched it again, I heard it multiple times during the match. They were like, yeah, if the other teammate interferes with the legal man, then that's disqualification. I was like, what? I was like, then how can you break up a pin? I was like, this what? None of that makes any sense. I've never heard that done said before. Like, is what? Like, is that a thing? Like, somebody correct me in the chat. I'm gonna catch up on the chat in a minute. But somebody is that a thing? Like, is that an actual rule? If the other tag team partner hits the legal man, like I know if he's not in the match, like if it's a one-on-one match and the tag team partners are on the outside and one of them interferes, obviously that's a disqualification. But if they're both legally in the match, I don't recall that being. I was like, what are they doing? What is this? Making up new shit. But they kept saying that. But the match was still great. These guys start going at it. KO finally came in. KO's hot tag. KO there was 3 hot tags during the match, two for KO and one for Sammy. The first KO hot tag was crazy because KO came in. I think he power bombed both guys. Then he hit Jay with a frog splash on the outside. Then he hit Jimmy with a frog splash on the inside. Then he went to the ring apron and did something else. And then he came back in and did something else. He did like 7 moves in the span of 60 seconds. It was awesome because obviously Kevin Owens looks like the Michelin Man and he moves like, a fucking jackrabbit. Yeah, I mean, he moves way too quick for somebody that looks like that. But we got Ivar. There's a lot of people. Braun Strowman moves pretty quick in the ring. So there's a lot of big guys. That's why they're WWE superstars, and I'm not. But yeah, so back and forth. Kevin's hot tag. Obviously, the Usos got back in it using teamwork and their chemistry. They ended up getting back on top. Sami Zayn got a hot tag in the match, which felt like the first hot tag, but Kevin Owens had did that early hot tag, so it wasn't. And once Sammy got back into the match, he started running wild. Man, it was so much that happened in his match. I can't even recall everything, but I remember a spot where KO was trying to clear off the table to do something to one of the Usos, and they got the upper hand, and they power bombed him through the announce table, and he was basically done. Then they went in, and Sammy got his ass whooped during this match, and they beat down Sami Zayn again for another 3, 4, or 5 minutes or whatever in a 2-on-1 thing. They hit him with a 1D. He kicked out. First time I think anybody's ever kicked out of a 1D. Correct me if I'm wrong. That shit was crazy. Sami Zayn hit. I think this was during a little bit earlier, but he hit Jay with a neck breaker on the ring apron, which was sick. And that's when KO. I think he hit a couple pop up power bombs, or he hit a pop up power bomb. It was so much going on during this match, man. It was a lot. There was like 4 or 5 different segments of the match. Building up to all the hot tags that I spoke of. Kevin Owens got another hot tag towards the end, came in, ran wild again. Like I said, the match was set up very well. The crowd was super into it. Jay was doing his acting thing. Jimmy was doing his thing, but Jay's acting, especially when he had a haluva kick on Sami Zayn. When they had Sammy in the ring by himself and Kevin was out from the announce table spot, he hit Sami Zayn with a haluva kick. You know what I mean? Obviously, that's Sami Zayn's finisher. And, then just start talking to him. You're supposed to be my brother. I called you my brother. You should have never left the bloodline. And then just out of nowhere, Sammy, like, I guess he got some smelling salt, and then he just hit Jay with a exploder suplex out of nowhere. Man, it was a phenomenal match. The finish came when these guys were all kind of facing off in the ring, and it was, all 4 of them were facing off in the ring, and the ref is like, "You got to get out, you got to get out." And Jimmy and Jay were like, "Yo, this just getting started. We just getting started." And then Kevin was like, "Let's end this," and then they just all start going at it, beating each other down. Baby faces got the upper hand again. KO got Jimmy up out of there, and that's when there was like everybody set up in corners. I think Sammy threw a haluva kick, then Kevin Owens hit a cannonball. Then they were out the ring or whatever. I might be getting this out of order. There's so much that happened in this match, but basically it got down to KO and Jay or Sammy and Jay in the ring, and Sammy hit three, count them, 1, 2, 3 haluva kicks on Jay in a row. And after the second one, Jimmy tried to get in there, but KO ran in and stunned him. And after the third haluva kick, Sammy got the 1, 2, 3, and the crowd went fucking nuts. The crowd lost their minds during on that 3 count, man, as they should have. Biggest story of the year, biggest story possibly in WWE history. I mean, yeah, they reacted as they should have. They went crazy. Sammy and Kevin's reactions after the bell rang it sold everything. It sold the whole feud. They didn't jump up and start screaming immediately. They both just stood there against the ropes, and it was so perfectly shot because Kevin was on one side and Sammy was on the other side, and they were just slumped against the ropes. Like Kevin looked like he was about to cry. You know what I mean? It's like Sammy looked like he was about to cry, and they was just like, yo. And then they jumped up and they hugged, and the crowd went crazier. And, they held up the belts and the fireworks went off. And that was the main event, man. That was the only match that could have been the main event. I apologize again to Charlotte and Rhea. I never thought that you would potentially that you would put on a bad match. I just didn't think that the build was what was main event worthy, and it wasn't. This was a main event worthy build, and we had an amazing payoff. Like I can't speak high enough about this match. Honestly, I can't speak high enough about this pay per view. If night two comes even close to what we just saw, I don't like this is going to be, and I've heard a couple other people say this. Obviously, WrestleMania 17 is near and dear to my heart. I remember watching it live with my friends Anthony and Steven. We were in high school and we were massive NWO marks, and but we loved WWE as well. I used to go meet up over at Anthony's house and flip channels, going back and forth. Um, yeah, so it was. This could possibly be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Like the WrestleMania I went to with Kofi Mania, that could have potentially been WrestleMania of all time. I think the women's three-way was amazing, but the botch finish kind of just took away from it a little bit. Like, and I was there live for that. It's just like, fuck, that botch finish just ruined such a phenomenal wrestling match. But the pay-per-view is still good overall. There's been a couple other ones. 21 was fire. Uh, yeah, it's been some good ones, but to be this concise and have this good of wrestling throughout the entire show. Like there was no bad wrestling. Even the 3-on-3 match with the ladies, Becky and all that, is like it wasn't offensive. There was some cool spots in there. Lita and Trish did her thing. She did her running bulldog, and everybody did their shit, man. But it wasn't sloppy. Lita's a little slow, but she's old. It's cool. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna bitch and moan when we get. I know that that's not supposed to be the highlight event of the night. You know what I mean? We saw what the highlights were, and all three, I'd say four of the major matches. I'm not going to count Theory and Cena as a major match because it has Cena in it. Everybody knew what was going to happen. And it still didn't do what it was supposed to do, in my opinion. But all four of the big matches, the Seth and Logan, Dom and Ray, Rhea and Charlotte, and the Usos and Sammy and KO, they were all phenomenal matches. It was damn near a perfect show, man. Like on some days I would give all these matches 5 blunts, honestly. Like it was that good, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give these matches blunt ratings. You guys could tear me apart if you think it's wrong. But I think I did pretty good with these blunt ratings. Okay, Cena and Theory, I gave them 3 blunts. You know, it was a match. Theory won, but he shouldn't have had to win by low blowing John Cena. That kind of took away from the entire fucking point. John Cena still doesn't have to believe in him. He cheated to win, so whatever. You know what I mean? It's like that happened. The women's 3-on-3 that I spoke about again. I got to give it 3 blunts as well. I couldn't decide whether it was better than the Cena and Theory match. It wasn't worse. Last night I think I gave it 3 1/4, but I'm gonna downgrade it a little bit to a three blunt match. Um, and then basically it's just up from there. The men's showcase fatal 4-way match for a 9-10 minute match. It was great. I gave that match 3.75 blunts. Logan Paul and Seth Rollins. Obviously, everything about that match was basically executed perfectly, including the finish. I gave that match 4.25 blunts. Rey Mysterio and Dom Mysterio, the second best story going into WrestleMania. Another example of Triple H's long-term booking. I can't just say Triple H. They were telling his story when Vince was around the first time, so they were. We don't know if it would have ended up like it did, which was basically perfect as far as how they got to where they got. But that match was also amazing. I gave that match 4.5 blunts. Dom wrestled his ass off too. Let's not just get lost in that it's a great story. Dom wrestled his ass off. Every move was executed crisply. Obviously, he's not going to have better chemistry in the ring with anybody outside of his dad. So I gave that match 4.5 blunts. Yeah, Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley. Man, mm, this is crazy, yo. I have to do it because I'm sitting up here thinking. I know Sasha and Bianca was. I think I gave that match 5 blunts last year. It was great. I've seen other great women's matches. Charlotte's been a part of some of them. I have to give this match 5 blunts, yo. Like I have to. It's one of the greatest women's matches I've ever seen. I it's definitely one of the greatest women's matches I've ever seen. S- So just with that being said, I have to give it 5 blunts because I've given other women's matches 5 blunts, and I think it might have been better than Sasha and Bianca. That's crazy. And I really hate to say that. I got to go watch Sasha and Bianca again because now I have to compare the two matches like head to head, back to back because man, I don't know. And I like to point out this is the first WrestleMania in a long time that I've had the desire to go back and rewatch. Like I used to rewatch every WrestleMania. And then it got to the point where I was just like, why am I rewatching these shows? You know what I mean? It's like they're not even that good. Plus, I'm a lot busier, but I'd be watching YouTube stuff like that. Like I would make time if I wanted to, like I did this year. I had to go back and rewatch these matches, man. They were so good. So I'm gonna give the ladies 5 blunts, man. Um, and I'm going to give the main event 5 blunts. I can't rank it lower. I can't rank it lower than Charlotte and Rhea, and I don't think it deserves to be ranked lower. I I honestly, if I wanted to do the whole Meltzer thing, I could break my scale and give this shit 5.5 blunts. I really could. It was perfect. The match was executed perfectly. Well, okay. The only thing that wasn't executed perfectly was Jimmy's frog splashes, or not frog splashes, Uso splashes. Um, not none of them really did. Like the Uso splash, it looks better when big guys do it. Like Bronson Reed's splash off the top rope looks devastating because he's heavy, he's big. Jimmy and Jay barely like touch you. They barely land on you when they do. Then when they do the double when they're trying to pick a side, it's like he ain't gonna splash that man's cranium. So it's just like he barely even touched him when he did it. So that's the only, no big complaints. It's whatever. It's the, part of it. But the match was still perfect. The storytelling was obviously A plus 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 plus. Um, so I got to give this match 5 blunts. We had two 5 blunt matches and a 4.5 blunt match and a 4.25 blunt match, and I could have very easily. Hmm. Only reason I didn't is because it only went 9-10 minutes. Because I want to give the men's fatal 4-way tag team match 4 blunts. Because what more could you have asked from those 8 men in that match with that amount of time? But because of the amount of time and because it wasn't a 20-minute barn burner and we didn't get a bunch of crazy 2 counts and we got as much as we could in a 10-minute span. And these guys killed it. So I think 3.75 blunts is fair for that match. I really want to give it 4 though because everybody killed it. Braun Strowman went up top and did a Uso splash off the top rope. So I don't know. Uh, so yeah, those are the blunt ratings. Let me go through this chat, catch up with you guys, see what you guys been doing. In here, Gruss was cracking, KGM was cracking. I see y'all in here. Wild Nation, gang, gang, Blue Wrench gang up in here. Shout out to Av Eth. Appreciate you being up in here. Thank you, Twitch gang. Appreciate everybody watching on Twitch that stops through. Um, what you guys talking about? In high school, we gave my whole boy rug burn on his nose, and for him from a pedigree where we held his legs and arm. Well, that just seems like attempted. That doesn't seem like you were doing a wrestling move. It sounds like you like y'all had beef. That's, don't sound like your homeboy at all. No man. Almost versus Lesnar is gonna be a fly blunt classic. Almost wins with the help of Hurt Business. I'm hoping you're right. I'm hoping you're right. Flair should have won. No, she shouldn't have. Stop it. You want to see the world burn, Russ? Stop it. Um, uh, let's see. Pat McAfee's theme is lit. Yes, it is. Corey Graves' rant was legendary. Corey Graves and Michael Cole killed it on commentary last night. Corey Graves just going in on Pat McAfee when he came out and just how soon as Pat McAfee's music hit, they cut to Corey Graves and his face was just he was just stone faced like, you fucking serious? And Michael Cole's over there like a fucking child, like, oh my God, it's my best friend here. Oh my God, I'm so happy. That shit was fucking crazy, man. Just the difference in the way they were going back and forth during the match. Uh, it was great. It was great. It was great. Got to get those guys props. They should be the pay per view team for all the shows. I'm glad that Triple H made that decision. If he was the one who made the decision, we never know. But uh, what else? Technically, they're right about that tag team rule, but WWE have yeah. Okay, so it is a rule, but they don't abide by it clearly because yeah, tag team partners hit the other person all the time. They don't abide by the 5 count. Like we saw that in the main event. Like there's no both of y'all in the ring. Five. Like the Usos doing the Uso splash. They be on the top rope for like 20 seconds. So they've already done 4 or 5 counts. Like somebody not supposed to splash at that point, or it's a DQ, right? Like I'm confused. Yeah, I mean, so is whatever. I try not to break kayfabe on myself sometimes, just so I could get lost in the story. You know what I mean? Lost in the wrestling and suspend my disbelief. But sometimes I'm just like, what? you, he's gonna get DQ. What are you talking about? It's a tag team match. No one else is out here, Corey. But yeah, disqualification qualification in the main event would have. Oh, that would have been. Oh God, we would have threw up in our mouths. I would have. Nobody would have wanted to see that. Absolutely nobody. Um, uh, a DQ would have had fans rush a gorilla position to rip the mustache off Vince. That's facts. That's fact. People, there would have been an APB out on Vince from the entire IWC. Like everybody, even the people not on the internet, the entire wrestling community would have been on Vince's neck. Oh man, Vince McMahon looks young and refreshed. Eh, eh. I saw the pictures. That man looked like the crypt keeper with a mustache. Like he got new hair. Like let's be anybody. I can get some plugs. Like y'all want me to have an afro? It's like, I can do whatever you want. You want me to get the Elvis? Like you can go get some. It's like he got spare plugs. He used what's that shit the YouTubers be promoting? I don't even know, but he used some version of Rogaine Keeps. That's what it is, and I ain't promoting them. Fuck them, but yeah. He's using one of these hair growth products. I mean, getting his hair back right, and he got his little mustache popping. I don't know if that makes him look young and refreshed because he still looks, his skin looks like cottage cheese. So I don't even, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Tonight, the whole world will acknowledge Amos. I hope so. I'm the only one who picked Amos, so I'm hoping he brings me home the predictions title. You was at WrestleMania 17 at the Astrodome, Chris? That's crazy. And you blessed. Sheesh. You saw a classic. Damn. Everybody wants to see Lesnar F5 Amos plot twist. Amos gonna F5 Lesnar off the top rope plus a shooting star press for the win. You know what? I would love to see Lesnar do a shooting star press just to make up for the only one he ever got to do that he botched. I would love to see that. I would definitely love to see that. Um, Damn, you been to 6 Manias? That's more than me, man. I only been to 3. That's crazy. Lucky. You lucky. Um, Av F says, hi there. What's going on, Av? Hope you're still tuning in on Twitch. Appreciate you. Theory is lame. He's not lame. I He needs a new finisher. Number one, his finisher sucks. That's off the rip. His theme song sucks. Um, his packaging sucks. But he's a great wrestler. He's a great talker. Um, he's got the it. They gotta do him right. That theme song is trash. It sounds like some Kid Rock or I don't even know what it is. Hey, down. It's like, get that shit the fuck out of here, man. You know what I mean? Theme music is stupid. No wrestler comes out as representing their hometown that hard. Like it's just like, what happens when you go to Atlanta? Are you gonna diss all the fans? You know what I mean? Which is what a good heel would do. You know what I mean? Except for MJF, he loves his home. I think MJF ran down his hometown. I don't know. He loves Rhode Island, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He has some issues, but he's got the it factor, man. None of us can deny that, man. That's why he got the match with John Cena in the first place. Um, Two Face right about Lita being old. She's terrible in the ring. Yeah, I mean she was never the greatest in the ring. Let's be clear. Like once Trish got good at wrestling, she was the better wrestler. You know what I mean? It took Trish a little bit to get, you know, in the ring and be taken seriously as a wrestler, But when she did, she was a better wrestler than Lita. Lita was more about the theatrics and the moonsault and the high spots. But when it just came to pure wrestling, I think Trish was better. I see Dom taking over LWO. Wouldn't be mad at that. You know what I mean? But I feel like Santos is a leader himself. I don't see him following Dom Mysterio. You know what I mean? Unless they like co-leaders, like on some NWO shit, like Hogan, Hall, and Nash. Um, most people looked at Hogan as the leader anyway, even though he didn't even start the group. Belair and Oscar got to bring their A game tonight. Yeah, the pressure's on for the ladies. The pressure is on for those ladies. All right, let's see. We got to get up out. We're gonna get up out of here so we can start this next stream. But yeah, those are the blunt ratings for WrestleMania Night 1, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. You can refresh your screen in about 20, 30 minutes when we go live for WrestleMania Night 2. Watch party should be fun. Austin Theory needs Lalo as his heel manager. Bruh, don't stop speaking my dreams. Well, no, keep speaking my dreams into existence. That's exactly what they need. Yo, I would talk so much shit for Austin. Be like, yo, he's the greatest. Randy Orton, fuck John Cena. None of them have the potential in their in their whole body that Austin Theory has in his pinky finger. He is destined to be great. Just look at him. Just look at him. No, I'm serious. Just look at him. Oh man, it's like, oh man, man, listen, that would be so much fun to be a heel manager in the WWE. I wouldn't want to be a babyface manager. I mean, I could probably pull it off, but I don't know. It wouldn't be as fun. It just wouldn't be. Like baby faces don't even have managers for the most part. But that's it. I'm gonna get up out of here. Y'all refresh in about 15, 20 minutes, man. I'll see y'all in a second. Let's get ready for WrestleMania Night 2, baby.